Hey everybody, so I asked you for questions, you have given me questions, I'm going to give you answers. Now, I'm not going to try and pronounce some of your usernames because some of your usernames are ridiculous. I'm not even going to try. Okay, so the first question. I'm 16 years old and want to start riding but don't want a scooter. I want a motorcycle, what do you think I should do? Personally, I would say wait till 17. It's not going to be worth buying a scooter or buying a 50cc bike and then in a year's time being able to increase the power by, was it 2.5 times? You will just hate yourself for getting a 50cc. They are perfectly good, but if you really want to ride, 125 is kind of like, I think is the bare minimum. I mean, people even take the piss out of me for riding 125. Yes, I'm 26 and I'm on 125, but shit happens. So I reckon you should wait a year, but if possible, you've got any friends who have bikes and like cheap ones that you might be able to try in a car park somewhere and get your sort of clutch skills and that up together. It's perfect practice. I learnt to ride bikes on fields, like 80cc scramblers, 5-speed, and I didn't have a problem when I did my CBT, even though I hadn't ridden a geared bike for about 3 years at that point. You know. Right, second question. If you had a bike that could go 400 kilometres per hour, that's 250 miles an hour, would you ever ride it that fast? Yes. Not on the road. I'd have to, well, I'd hope there was some way you could take it. There's, like in Top Gear where they got that straight track that's like 5 miles long. That situation, yeah. There's a corner, no. If I know there's a corner within 4 miles, I'm not doing 250, no. Not in a million years. But if it was like a straight line, oh god, yes. Okay, so what's next? Will Betty always be in your garage even if you get a DRZ? Yes, because it is worth nothing. It's been written off once. It wasn't a true write-off, it was more of a money thing. And I got it back on the road. And I've just done too much on that bike. I can't sell it to anyone. Okay, so next question. So, since this bike is pretty beaten up and all, what would your dream replacement bike be? Would it be something custom or fairly factory stock? It wouldn't be a custom bike as such, I don't think. Unless it was like a custom supermoto, because that would be quite cool. No, I think I get a pretty standard bike and then I would customise it a bit. I don't over-customise things. I like to make it my own, but not like go to the point of sticking a skeleton on the back of it like a guy on the island did. Yes, he's got a full-size skeleton that's like sat as a pillion on the back of his bike all the time. It is very funny to see, and I have not got on video yet, and I have tried, and I failed thus far. So, sorry. So, I mean, yeah, the bike itself, what would it be? Realistically, at this point, a DRZ is the perfect bike for me. As an unrealistic bike, and I've thought about this, the only way I'd own this bike, because I couldn't ride it, is a Ducati 996 in red and white. I couldn't own one of these to ride. I'm too tall. I've looked at them. They are too small. They look like a mini moto to me. They don't even come out half up my bloody leg. They're tiny. But if I won loads and loads of money and I had a lovely big house, I would have a 996 in my living room. Because, God, if you could look at that, who needs TV? I know some people don't agree with that then, but I think that the 996 is one of the best looking bikes that has ever been made. It's the engineering of Ducati. I just love being able to see good engineering. Anyway, I'm talking about the inside of the engine. That might not be quite so reliable. If you could say one thing to Mr. T and Chuck Norris, what would it be? Okay, so if we're talking character here, Mr. T, I'd have to ask him what happened to make him so scared of planes. Because, as far as I can see, he's a bit of a girl. I haven't said that I've never been on a plane. Anyway. Okay, and Chuck Norris, I guess I'd probably have to ask him if he really does have another fist underneath his beard. Because I don't. You know, it's quite a cool feature. I'd like to know how he got it. Next question. Do you fancy a splash of milk in your tea? No, I don't drink tea, nor coffee, or any hot drinks. People in America are going, but he's English, he has to drink tea, it's tea! No, I just don't like tea, hot drinks. I like the smell of coffee, and I like the smell of tea, and I don't mind the taste of tea, but not hot. Nor do I like iced tea. It's kind of a weird area with me, just don't get involved with it, to be honest. Do you think more than a handful is a waste? Have you seen the size of my hands? Yes. I'm not sure if this is a question or not, but hey, whatever, mate, I'm going to answer it as it was a comment. Can you try and do wheelies like the garden snake, Jake? I think you should try it. Would like all your videos, but I already do. That's very kind of you. Can I do wheelies like Jake? No, I ride a 125, not a 400cc. So no, I can't do wheelies that way. Plus, I haven't got a bike that's big enough to do it, so I haven't practiced. I can do little wheelies, micro wheelies as I call them, but it's not something that I would try and do too much in the UK, for I like the ability to ride a bike, because I'll just lose my licence doing shit like that. Okay, the next one. Oh no, that's someone asking about what helmet I have. It's an Icon variant. Everyone seems to ask, but someone's answered it for me. Okay, what side do you consider your petrol cap to be on when filling up? You said they could be anything silly. You really threw me for a minute on that one. I was like, what? It's on the top side, okay? Obvious. What's your dream in life? That's a big question. I guess actually to be happy, basically. As long as I'm always happy, that is good with me. I know it's a bit of a cop-out answer. I'd like to, well, okay, so let's say, someone also asked a similar question, where would you want to see yourself in 5 years' time? If I could be in a job that I was earning enough money to be able to live in my own place, have my own bike, and maybe have met someone by then, because, you know, I've been single for a little while, well, not even a year yet, but, you know, would be nice, if I meet some nice girl somewhere, so that'd be cool. So, just, yeah, a normal, contented, happy life, that's all I want out of life. Doesn't mean you can't have dreams, just, it's what I need, okay? How do you always do it? Well, that depends on what it is. So, let's just say with a spoon. Okay, how did you come up with the name Spicy110? I have actually answered this question before now. It was all to do with an old email address I had, which had the word spicy in it, but I'm giving no more information than that. And when I was setting up my YouTube account, which I was only doing at the time so I could subscribe to people and keep watching their videos, I couldn't come up with any names that I wanted, and I ended up using a bit out of my email address, and I think it just came up with the 1110 bit, so I'm sorry. 1110? No, see, I made that mistake as well. I'm so sorry about this. That's another question, we'll get to that one in a minute. But anyway, yeah, that's how it was, an email address, and it was just necessity. I wasn't thinking about it in any way. Going back one, about where would I like to be in 5 years' time, and sort of my dream in life. The following question to that is, do I think it's achievable? Yes. And I think an achievable dream like that is not a bad thing to have. I mean, yes, you should look big, but at the same time, you can be realistic. And as I say, I don't need a lot in my life, I just need to be happy. And you guys make me very happy, so that's cool. What's your scariest experience? Can be riding related or not. Scariest experience? Okay, riding related would just be a very, very close call, such as a woman who decides to do a U-turn in front of me, and somehow I managed to slip between the back of her car, a curb, and stop before I hit the brick wall in front of me. I was only doing about 30, but the point was she pulled out with about literally like a second and a half's notice. She didn't indicate, she just pulled straight round and did this U-turn, and yeah, I wasn't pleased about that. I think I might have even talked about that before now. Now, that on a bike would be pretty scary. What should have been most scary, actually, in my normal life was nearly being killed by a monster truck. Yes, I'm not kidding, I have nearly been squished by a monster truck. I was at a monster truck display, a very small one, it only had 2 trucks, And then had a ribbon fence and had some old cars that they got from the scrapyard. And this guy did a huge jump off of one of them. And when he landed on 2 wheels. And had he kept going sideways, he would have rolled over me and the 20 people that were stood there. But what he managed to do was spin the steering round and just floor it. And the whole thing just went and sort of corrected itself. Very good driver. Should have been a lot more scared than I was. But that's quite awesome, I suppose, if you can say you've never been killed by a monster truck. Have you ever considered working for the BBC? In what department? As a TV presenter? No. It's not the sort of thing for me, I don't think. I've considered working in the wildlife side. That would be quite interesting. But you need to be very, very good at what you do, and I've been doing it for a very long time, and that's how they get... The BBC does such good things through the wildlife department, because the people who work there are amazing people. So if someone's asked me about bike history, and someone's also asked me what's the fastest I've been on a bike. Well, I'm going to answer these both in one question because I have only owned one bike, that bike. The fastest I've done would be 82 miles an hour. Theoretically, of course I didn't actually do that on the A27 to Brighton. It was on a closed track, but I thought I'd mention the A27 to Brighton because it's a nice road, you know. Yes, and I know 82 sucks. A lot of you are like, oh, I can do that in like second. What? Just want to make me feel more sad that I'm still on a 125? Go away. Why are some of your roads, especially the ones in the crash video, the recent one to do with the cyclist, so narrow? What if 2 cars came round at the same time? Good question. Basically they crash. No, there really are crashes down there all of the time. Why are they so narrow? Because they're little country roads. They're 60 miles an hour. They're just like, they're an old country road which they've just slapped a 60 mile an hour, where it's a national speed limit speed on it, and just leave it up to you to pick your way through. Because if you did 60 down there, within the first corner you would have already crashed. Question, if you were to die tomorrow, God forbid, yes, they are a good band, what would be your last wish? I think you'll come to realise I'm a very simple person, really. And, not in a way, well, yeah, kind of in a way, but just to be remembered in a good way, I think would be good. Because, I mean, I'm of the opinion that we're here, we have one life, you go through, you do what you can. I think the fact that we all have to work through our lives is the biggest crime on earth. I wish money didn't exist. I wish we could just live free and all that, but you can't. It doesn't work. You can't have motorbikes and things existing without people having jobs and stuff. So, just to be remembered in a good way. Okay, next one. Why did you decide to start motovlogging? And can you answer this in an American accent? Oh, you bastard. Right. I guess the reason why I decided to start motovlogging in the early days was because I like to watch motovloggers, and what the fuck was that? I like to watch motovloggers, and I rode a motorbike, and I thought it was really cool, so I decided, you know, this thing's for me. So I got myself my iPhone and put it on my front of my chest, strappy thing doodah, and started off there, and it was pretty cool, and things grew, and before you know it, I'm here today. Doing the worst American accent you've ever heard. Your fault. But yeah, basically, I don't really know. I thought it was really cool. I was interested in doing some video editing, to be honest, because I've done a lot of photography stuff. I thought video would be interesting to do. Didn't imagine it to turn to this, but it's very cool when it has. I love it. Question, are you renaming your bike Scarface? Apologise to Betty now, please. Her name is not Scarface. What do you mean? It's not her fault. Yeah, who needs factory finish when it has something more important, personality? Exactly. My bike has got personality. It's not always a good one. When do you plan to get your next bike? Well, if you watch my videos, you'll know that that kind of plan is out the window now. I suggest you go back the last 3 videos starting with shit happens, and you'll find out why I won't be getting that for a little while unless something amazing happens. If you were a superhero, who would you be? Not Batman, because he's not a superhero. This is a recent thing I've come to realise. Batman has no powers. All he has is money. He's not a superhero. Sorry, Batman slating there. He's quite a cool guy with a bike and all, but I don't know. What superhero would I be? I suppose Spider-Man, because it will give me really good reactions. You know, make you a good rider. And if anyone pulls out on you, you can just go and get away from it. Okay, could you please include in your video a brief summary of your bike history? Okay, I bought a Pulsar Adrenaline 125cc. There you go, done. I've ridden various things from chicken chasers, they're the 50cc ones with pedals. I've ridden mopeds, and I've ridden off-road bikes, things like, I think it was a DT80, something like that. They're not mine, friends' bikes, we used to ride on fields, including the chicken chaser. That was quite funny one summer. Yeah, I only owned one bike, really. Okay, so, is your horse broken? I'll have to keep an eye on its emissions, see which way they're going in and out. But as far as I know, all's good. For a more serious question, if you stole a giraffe, would that make you a goose? No, that would make me a giraffe thief. I don't think the geese will take kindly to being accused of being thieves. My goosey friends would not like that. Nor my goosey friends have no use for a giraffe. Although actually no, do they? Because the giraffes are very tall. Then what do geese want that's really tall? Nothing really. Seed and water's on the ground. No, I don't think the geese would want it. Anyway, no, that giraffe thief. What's your best moments of motovlogging? My best moments? Going over that hill on the Isle of Wight trip, 3rd video, as I come up and you see a load of cliffs and the sea in front of you. That's when I realised that motovlogging was one of the most awesome things I've ever done my entire life. And doing the dual vlogs with Jake, I can't get my head round it sometimes. I'm like, this is nuts that I can do this, because years ago this wouldn't have been possible with the technology that was available to everyday people. And it's very cool, because it's basically, when we do those videos, it's the only time that we ride together, because he lives in America, I live in the UK, so it's not easy for us to meet up. So it's like we go on a ride together, and it's really cool. So yeah, the dual moto vlogs and the Isle of Wight one, that's very cool. Yeah, for me, my best moments. I don't know about you watching. Don't know what would be your choice. Who's your favourite vlogger to follow at the minute? Not necessarily your favourite of all time, just right now. That's really difficult to say, pick out an individual person, because each vlogger has their own style, and that's what's good, and that's what brings something different. So you can't really compare all vloggers. And although we are vloggers, I think we're very subdivided categories. But Baron von Grumble, he is a brilliant vlogger. He's very, very funny, and he's a complete nutcase, and he's got some nice bikes. And he was very kind enough to put a sticker for me on Nelson's column, or my massive erection, as he called it. Why are you so awesome? I didn't know that I was, thus I don't know that's why I am, and therefore not. Seagull. Why is Betty called Betty? After the song Black Betty, to be honest, and I wanted to give it an old person's name. Why do you live on an island? Oh, this is the person who put loads and loads of questions. I'm going to answer some of these, mate, but not all of them. Why do you live on an island? Because that's where I grew up. Can we meet you sometime? We? I don't know who we is, and probably not. The Brighton Burn Up in September, if you go, I'll be there. So, as long as all goes to plan. So you maybe see me there, Brighton Burn Up in September. Do you think car vlogging is viable? Not really. Why are you so tall? Because I was on growth hormone replacement therapy for 10 years, and my father is 6 foot something, and my ancestry is Viking, I believe. So, genetics and drugs. And if you want to know what I'm talking about with the growth hormone replacement stuff, A Brief History of Spice, very old video of mine. Quite a revealing video, to be honest. I was very honest in that. And I don't mind being very honest, because I've got nothing to be ashamed of. Anyway, have you ever written a bike off? Yes, Betty. Well, I didn't write it off, someone else wrote it off for me while I was sat on it. Have you ever written off a car? Technically, yes. But that's a whole vlog of its own, and I'm not sure if I'm going to be willing to do that one. Not illegal. I was driving a car without a licence at about 14, not on the road, and it was actually within my driveway. Okay, right. Okay, yeah. I wrote a car off in my driveway once. Not a proud moment of mine. Oh god. I'll do a vlog on it. Okay, I promise you at some point I will do a vlog on how I wrote a car off in my own driveway. Did I mention the car was my mum's? Mashed, okay, so here's an interesting one. Mashed or roast potatoes to a Sunday dinner. Personally, I would say roasts. Mashed potatoes on a Sunday dinner is not right. I can't eat Sunday dinners, though. I have problems with my digestive system, so I can't actually eat roast dinners anymore. Haven't eaten a roast dinner for, I don't know, 13, 14 years. Great, eh? When you've passed your test, can I have your bike after you bought yourself a DRZ for 400, please? No. You can buy it from me for £1 million. No, I'll tell you what, if anyone wants Betty, 10 grand. Otherwise, I'm keeping it. Because I don't want to sell the thing, but if someone offered me 10 grand, I couldn't say no, could I? God, someone would have to be locked up if you want to pay 10 grand for that thing. Okay, next question. Why are you riding with no front L plate? Who says I'm not riding with a front L plate? Stop asking that question. Shush. Everyone that asks me gets no comment. Have you ever ridden in another country where you had to ride on the other side of the road? I have never been out of the UK. I've been to the Isle of Wight twice. That's as far as I've got. I've been to Scotland quite a bit, but never out of the country. That happens when you're 6 and your mum and dad split up, and your mum has to look after 3 kids on her own, and she's skint. So, shit happens. Need to know, what colour is your carpet? It's like a light brown, tanny colour, maybe? What do you want to know so badly? Okay, on a scale of 1 to broke, how much money do you have now Betty is fucked? 1 to broke? I'm a bit confused. Right, we're going to say that 1 is very, very completely skint, and 10 is minted. I put myself about a 3 at the moment. I can afford to actually live, but that's all I can afford to do. I can't afford to buy a new bike or anything like that, or move out, or do anything that I should be doing at 26. Sucks, but, you know, that's the world we live in these days. Okay then, so the next question. Spicy, do you like bacon? Yes. Bacon has a special place in my heart. How do you say the spicy 110 bit? Right, basically I say 110 or 110. Either way, I don't mind. As I say, it was never supposed to be pronounced. Problems have people saying when they say 1110. Some people quite often say that one, but yeah, it's 110 or 110. Okay, so the very last question. Have you ever dreamt of Betty? Yes, I have. I have ridden Betty in a few of my dreams. It's never any quicker though. It's a dream. I could make the thing a 400 if I wanted to, but no. I'm obviously just mean to myself. Right, so there you go. there's the questions. This has been very entertaining and interesting. And I might do one of these every couple of months or something. Thank you very much for all your questions. I hope you enjoyed my answers, and I will catch you all next time. I need to go exploring. Zip tie stitches, keeping this part on. I do have this, some of this. I went back and found it. I'll probably have to stitch that in at some time. These ones here are actually holding on to the mounts because all of the mounts broke. And this little stubby fender I have here, this little mudguard, that's actually the back part of it, and I've just turned it around.